All right, there's a whole lot of videos already on YouTube of people basically taking apart the arguments of social justice warriors and stuff. I don't want this channel to be one of those channels, but there's just a few little things I'd like to say. And like I said, there's plenty of other people out there doing this well. So it's just like a little 2 cents here. I wasn't even really aware of this until a few weeks after the Yale incident, because I didn't see it when it happened. It was like a few weeks later, and I came across that Shrieking Girl video. And I see all these students at Yale just freaking out, going all nuts on this professor who obviously loved them and cared about them and wanted them to grow and learn. So he was being incredibly patient and actually trying to teach them the exact same time they're assassinating his character and just going off on him, because he cared. He was there to make their lives better. He was there to teach them to think, to equip them for going out in the real world. He wanted them to be premium human beings because they're at Yale, and that's like, they have standards there. And you're just seeing this and you're like, this is insane. Like, I've never seen such weak little crybabies. So obviously I'm like, what set these people off to start with? So I go and I read the letter that his wife had sent, and basically it was like this real reasonable letter talking about how college is when you learn how to confront different ideas and grow and all that. And I mean, you may remember from your college experience, I remember mine, people disagreed with me all the time, and it was a great time to grow and to learn and to expand. You get challenged, like, you're like, why do I disagree with that? Why do I believe what I believe? And it makes you start growing as a person. Like, you don't just blindly hold on to your opinions anymore. Like, you start defending them, and sometimes you realize some of them are wrong, and you start making adjustments that are more in accordance with reality. And it was just a good time. And these people aren't doing this. So here she had this really reasonable letter, and it just had them freaking out. And he's being really reasonable because he cares about them and loves them, and they're freaking out on him. And it's just insanity. So after that, you start seeing all kinds of stuff. Like, you see a scientist land a probe onto a comet. Like, how good does he have to be with his calculations and stuff to do something that amazing? And instead of basking in the amazement of human achievement, they're freaking out because of his dumb little Aloha shirt that has women in bikinis. You're like, are you serious? And there's just thing after thing that's insanely stupid like this. And that's the thing, they're just so ridiculous. So anyway, people use the term social justice warriors to talk about these people. And when I was watching the Yale video, the very first impression I had were these people were insanely weak and hypersensitive and little crybabies, and that they would never be equipped to deal with the real world. They'd be useless in the real world. They'd just be crying in their little safe space all the time, and they'd never amount to anything. And I'm like, this is Yale. This is supposed to be the cream of the crop. And the second thing I thought about was people that really advanced social justice were really, really strong. They had real oppression. They had real things thrown at them. Like Martin Luther King, Nelson Mandela, all these people, they had to deal with everything, but they were like so strong, so centered. And they just would draw people together, make people aware of what was going on, and advance the human condition. They were like the opposite of these social justice warriors. And so I'm like, weakness is not the key to advancing social change. My other issue, well, I actually have two more issues. One is that they don't see people as people. They don't see like this guy as that guy and that guy as this guy. They put everybody into categories based off external things that are of no significance. Like, they don't care about the content of a person's character. They don't care about a person's ideas. They don't care about who someone is as a person or what they contribute or how they treat others. What they care about is skin color, gender, sexual orientation. They don't care about anything else. They don't care about stuff that matters. They care about stuff you can't help, stuff you were born with. You're born with this sexual orientation, you're born this gender, and you're born this race. It's just the toss of the dice, the luck of the lottery. And that's what they focus on. That's how they categorize you as a human being. So like me, I'm just a white cisgendered male. That's all I am. I'm not a human being with hopes and dreams. I'm not a person who's developed any talents. I'm not a person who treats people one way or another. There's nothing, none of that's me. I'm just white, male, and cisgendered. That's all they care about. So they dehumanize everybody and just throw them into categories and play their little oppression Olympics, and it's really ridiculous. And of course, my other problem, which I think is the main problem most people have and why the YouTube community's been attacking these videos, is this whole policing free speech thing. I love free speech. Obviously, there's tons of people that have said super stupid things that I hate, and it annoys me. But I love free speech because even if there's nutcases out there, like the neo-Nazis and the Ku Klux Klan, and all these crazy people, I would rather have them out there saying it so I know what's in their heart, so I know what they're thinking, than having it be hidden. I always like it out there. I like it voiced. I like the ideas out there. So the two things about the ideas out there: first, you have awareness that they exist. Secondly, it makes you think, why do I not agree with these ideas? Why do these ideas set wrongly with me? So you start thinking about it, and then you think, why do I hold my ideas? Why are my ideas important to me? And so you start thinking about that. And maybe it makes you go and start doing some research and learning, and maybe you learn a thing or two, and your worldview gets a little more in accordance with reality instead of like a fantasy that feels good in your head. And then you understand why other people's ideas are so bad. It feels like it makes you grow as a human. It's good to have ideas out there bouncing around instead of hiding and festering. You don't want evil to be hidden. It's better for evil to be out there where you can see it. So policing free speech is really, really stupid and counterproductive. The only time I think speech should be policed at all is if people are purposely inciting the masses to violence or inciting lots of people to do horrible, horrible things. We should be like, hey, calm down. We don't need you trying to get someone to kill every single one of these people, this race or this gender or something. That's nonsense. But if it's not gonna lead to like the death and destruction of millions, if it's just words, leave it alone. And I don't even know where to take it on that level. I'm just leaving room for maybe there's an excuse to take some sort of action if something gets really extreme. Like maybe if someone had cut off Hitler before things had gone where they were, it would have made history a lot better for 6 million people. I don't know, but I definitely don't like what these people are doing. Like people just saying meaningless little harmless things, and the whole giant community jumps on them and they get fired from their jobs and stuff. This is just ridiculous right now. So I'm very, very happy that there's all these people making known the silliness of this and pointing out the weaknesses and the flaws in the arguments and stuff. I applaud you all for what you've done, and just keep up the great work.